What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing the Raw recap. Tonight started off with going back to last week when Samoa Joe choked out Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar's music hits. Brock and Paul Heyman come out, which is surprising. The champ is on a cable TV show now. Thought he had the special schedule where he doesn't have to mingle with the commoners. Paul Heyman starts off by flapping his lips about last week. Brock Lesnar just stands there like a stump on, holding his belt, which is all he does. Samoa Joe comes out and immediately starts a fight with Brock Lesnar. Security comes out, tries to split them apart. Security gets beaten down by both Lesnar and Samoa Joe. Then Kurt Angle is waving to the back. The entire locker room comes out and tries to break up the fight. Starts to get broken up for a little bit, but Samoa Joe kicks Brock Lesnar square in the face and just lands him. This looks like it's actually going to be pretty interesting, although I still feel that they're just going to be feeding Samoa Joe to Brock Lesnar. They get the two split apart, and we go to commercial. We come back. Elias Sampson is introduced, and he starts singing, and he is booed severely by the crowd. Dean Ambrose comes out, starts a fight with him, which brings us to our first match, Elias Sampson versus Dean Ambrose. Now, I'm going to stop right here and say we were dealing with a bunch of storms down here in Florida, and my satellite signal got screwed up for part of Raw, and then later on in Raw, we had a straight out power outage, which knocked everything out. So there are a couple spots tonight that I missed. So you'll have to excuse if I miss some bits for Raw. Like I said, I lost both signal and power 2 times tonight. But our first match, Dean Ambrose versus Elias Sampson. It was an alright match. The Miz came out and interfered. Shocker. Elias got the neck breaker on Dean Ambrose for the win. It was funny throughout this match. The crowd was chanting, "You can't sing and you can't wrestle," towards Elias Sampson. It was kind of funny. We then have a video package from Goldust, basically just repeating the same thing we saw the past couple weeks, just spouting off movie quotes. Then we have a cruiserweight match. Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar. Cedric Alexander has just come back from injury. It was an alright match. Noam Dar comes out, and he's got his phone out talking to Alicia Fox, who apparently is at home because she messed her neck up. And, oh my God, it was annoying. They had her piped in through the arena speakers. One, her voice is annoying as shit to begin with. And then to have it amplified throughout the entire arena was just... I know I say if it's too loud, you're too old. But that wasn't... Well, it wasn't too loud, because, I mean, I've heard louder. But that was just... I got a roll of duct tape around here somewhere that I would gladly donate to put around her mouth so she would stop talking. Oh, shit, that was fucking annoying. Anyways, she's sitting there blabbing her mouth, blah, 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 and Noam Dar has his back turned towards Cedric Alexander. He puts the phone down, turns around, Cedric Alexander nails him with the, spine checker, I think it was. Whatever his finishing move is. Got a quick pin. Cool. Alright. Thank fucking God, because I'm pretty sure we'd end up hearing Alicia Fox the entire match if it went any further. And still, even afterwards, you still heard her voice. Dude! I just wanted to take an ice pick to my eardrums. It was, Then we got a whole bunch of flashy shit. You know who's coming. Our good old friend Bray Wyatt. I guess he's now feuding with Seth Rollins because he was the first part he was on the video, and then he came out to the ring. The first part of his thing on the video was I had my TV turned up and I could barely understand him. But sitting there talking about Seth Rollins, Seth Rollins' music hits. He comes out. Seth Rollins says a bunch of shit. Then all of a sudden, flash, flash, flash. Lights go out. Lights, flash, flash, flash. Lights come back on. He's gone. Seth Rollins is looking around like, he's expecting to pop up somewhere. And flash, flash, flash. Whole bunch of... and then he's back up on the Titantron. And again, whatever he said, I could barely understand. I heard the last thing, run. I used to be behind Bray Wyatt, hoping he would do some good, but he's getting annoying. It's getting bad now. We then go to the next match, which is Kalisto versus Apollo Crews again. And Titus O'Neil has Akira Tozawa in the crowd. I guess he's trying to recruit Tozawa into the Titus brand. It was an alright match, borderline on Apollo Crews won. Titus yanks Tozawa out of the crowd and into the ring. Tozawa was looking confused as shit on what's going on. Titus O'Neil snaps a selfie. Okay, fine, whatever. We then have Alexa Bliss coming out and talking about her match last week with Nia Jax. Nia Jax comes out, says she was promised a title match. Then Mickie James and Dana Brooke comes out, and they start talking shit, calling Alexa Bliss a dwarf. Then Emma comes out and says, Emma's back. Fuck, I didn't even realize she was gone. She's been, since her return back from Emelina, I think I may have seen her like 3 times in the past 3 months, maybe? She's showing up just about as much as Brock Lesnar, and she's not even a champion. Then Sasha Banks comes out, starts running her mouth, gets in the ring and clocks Alexa Bliss, and a big fight starts off in the ring, which then comes into our next match. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Emma versus Sasha Banks, Dana Brooks, and Mickie James. It was, I don't know. I really don't know what to make out of this match. It seemed like a quick filler match to me. Emma was trying to get a tag to Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss jumps off the ring and walks towards the back. Sasha Banks got the bank statement on Emma. So Sasha Banks, Dana Brooks, and Mickie James wins this match. It was rather short. Like I said, I really don't know what to make out of it. We then have a match with Heath Slater and Rhino versus The Miz and supposedly a mystery partner. Well, come to find out, once The Miz gets in, some goofy kids music starts playing. I don't really know what to describe it. And the bear from last week comes out riding a tricycle. The Miz immediately starts thinking that it's Dean Ambrose. The Miz starts getting his ass handed to him. The bear tags himself in and starts smacking the shit out of Heath Slater and puts him in a bear hug. And then he tags The Miz back in. The Miz immediately jumps the bear. Like I said, he thinks it's Dean Ambrose. Pulls the mask off the bear. It's not Dean Ambrose. So he gets back in the ring, and I guess somewhere in between there, Dean Ambrose was hiding underneath the ring. The bear comes back into the ring and gives Slater the dirty deeds as The Miz is talking to Maurice on the apron. Maurice is sitting there pointing over his shoulder that, trying to warn her that that's Dean Ambrose. The Miz turns around, sees Dean Ambrose. He's pulled the mask off, and Ambrose tries to rush The Miz. The Miz bumps Maurice. Maurice falls off the apron, and she runs away. The Miz eats dirty deeds. And then The Miz pulls Heath Slater over The Miz to get the pin. Then Dean Ambrose puts the bear's mask on The Miz, and that's all is done. We were supposed to have a match between Neville and Rich Swann. When Rich Swann gets into the ring, Neville immediately starts beating on him before the bell rings, and then starts talking shit about TJ Perkins and Austin Aries. So I guess we're going to be seeing that shit for another 4 weeks until Great Balls of Fire. Yay. We're supposed to have a match with Enzo and Cass versus the Club. Again, albeit we haven't seen them fighting for a couple of weeks, it's still the same shit. Well, the Club's already out in the ring. Enzo and Cass's music hits. Nobody comes out. They then cut backstage where Big Cass is laid out. Enzo comes running up. Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? In the background, you can see the Revival walking past. I guess if it's not the Revival, they're seriously hinting on it. Big Cass says, he's fine to wrestle, so they come staggering out. On the way to the ring, Gallows and Anderson get hold of microphones and start talking. Gallows' voice is probably about the next one down from Alicia Fox. In all, both Gallows and Anderson should be banned from microphones. Half the shit they say is just annoying. Like I said, Gallows' voice is just as bad. He should stick to his old Festus gimmick and just stay quiet. But Enzo and Cass come out. Cass starts off and he's holding his head like he got, because he got clocked. And he puts up a pretty good offense, but then he tags Enzo in and pretty much falls off the ring. Enzo gets his offense in, gets his ass handed to him as usual, catches a magic killer from the Club, and Gallows and Anderson win. They set up for a second magic killer, and the Big Show's music comes out. Big Show comes out. Gallows and Anderson split. He goes to help out Enzo, and as he's doing that, Big Cass gets up onto the ring, sees him helping out Enzo, and then all of a sudden he gets all butthurt jealous, I guess. We then go backstage, and Enzo runs up and says, hey, thanks for helping me out, but I gotta know, because Big Cass said that someone hit him with one shot, and I gotta know, just to be sure you didn't do this, right? And Big Show takes offense to it and calls Big Cass soft. We then go to our tag match it was for the tag titles. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match, and like I said, this is where the power started getting screwy. It was a good match. I liked it for what I saw. Sheamus and Cesaro got the first fall. Sheamus pinned Matt Hardy. The match restarted for the second fall, and power goes. Great. Wonderful. Apparently, in between the time that the power was out, Matt Hardy got the pin on, I think it might have been Sheamus. I'm not exactly sure. So the third fall starts, and it actually looked like the Hardys were going to get it. Turns out there was a big brawl that started outside the ring. Both teams got counted out, so it's a draw. 1 fall each. So I guess we're going to have at Great Balls of Fire, I'm going to guess a Falls Count Anywhere match, or no count out match. There's going to be some special stipulation on this tag team match. It started off as a good Raw. I was actually liking it. Then it started going downhill, and then it picked itself back up kind of towards the end. There was a lot of filler matches. There was a lot of the just killing time shit that really didn't progress any storylines. Kind of like when Alexa Bliss came out and that whole bit. That did nothing towards who's going to be number one contender or who's going to face who at Great Balls of Fire. The beginning part, like I said, was good. The Lesnar and Samoa Joe bit was good. It wasn't drawn out. I was almost expecting something to happen between the two of them backstage, or Samoa Joe was going to have a match and Brock Lesnar was going to run in. I was expecting something like that. It didn't either. It didn't happen, or something happened during the satellite or power out. The Bray Wyatt stuff could have been skipped. The Goldust and R-Truth stuff could be skipped. But I would say it was an average for Raw. I'm not going to put it down. There were a good bit of up points things that I liked. So hopefully they can continue this into next week, and we'll have a even better Raw next week. Hopefully we're not going to have any repeated matches again. We'll probably have Kalisto versus Akira Tozawa, because that's going to be the new feud, Kalisto versus Titus Brand. Or we'll have some women's match with one of the 6 competitors from tonight. And it's bad, because the SmackDown women's division is doing better than Raw's women's division, and that kind of sucks. But hopefully things will improve for next week. That'll do it for tonight's Raw recap. I'll be back tomorrow night for the SmackDown recap. If you liked this video, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe. Feel free to share this video. Spread the love everywhere. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.